out there, and 58% humidity as well.
Yeah, 36 degrees air temperature.
In 2021, he left with just 4 points and a neck injury after a race 2 crash from 8th. Confirmed top independent for 2021 here in Mandalika last season, thing with injury, but he's made a step forward with 20 points in the last 2 rounds and will now benefit from second round back with Barney. A modest 7 points his score from San Juan last time out.
Yeah, we could see
high level and worked as great as a team during qualifying with a locker following him.
Supersport is 10 podiums. Remember, he was second with VFT in Estoril earlier, front rider on the Pedicini Kawasaki in 2022. The field complete fly away rounds. The 900th Superbike World Championship race is championship point to Alvaro Bautista if he beats Jonathan Rea here and outscores Steve English alongside me for an historic milestone, Superbike's 900th race.
On other people having a bit of misfortune as well, but certainly Alvaro knows that he's got the opportunity to this weekend. Good long run pace yesterday. Yamaha very confident in their speed in yesterday's free practice session, and he backed it up in the Super Bowl session.
Steve, 30 races bites you very quickly.
Well, it is a situation where if you have an issue in this race, it puts the pressure pretty much all the way through this year. He's made the most out of his bike, and he's gotten the most points possible pretty much every race.
10 lap distance in Portimao and Argentina. Sands to 82 points up on Toprak Razgatlioglu. If that margin is 99 points at the of the second row of the grid, the championship leader, whereas Toprak Razgatlioglu starts out. Good start from Alex Lowe from the second row of the grid. Tries to put pressure on Andrea Locatelli, but in the drag race down towards turn 1, it's Alvaro Bautista who is the man to watch. And a start from Michael van der Mark by the looks of things. So van der Mark making progress inside the top 10. So rejoined in 9th position. That's behind Michael van der Mark, who's made a good start up to P8, to offline and through. Back for 3rd position. These two going toe-to-toe. That's allowing the pack in at Superpole this morning. Locatelli thanking Razgatlioglu for his contribution to a first, but Jonathan Rea holding position in 3rd for the moment.
Yeah, Rea took that inside line.
Andrea Locatelli relegated to 3rd, and that Patti Yamaha 1-2 broken up once again.
Yeah, and for Locatelli, it's now about trying to make sure he's able to hold the pace.
Into 4th, Alex Lowe's just getting caught in the wrong place at the wrong time on that opening lap, and he is still down in 9th position. So we saw Bautista try and get on terms with Jonathan Rea as we ride on board with Jonathan Rea at the head of a 3-rider train at the moment for 2nd position.
Yeah, you're seeing everyone just have to be really careful as well with how they're placing their bikes out. It looks like a key overtaking opportunity, but it's so difficult to make the move stick.
And Bautista is throwing the bike down the inside of Locatelli absolutely everywhere now. He couldn't get X1 in the Pirelli Indonesian round for 2022. Razgatlioglu, Rea and Bautista separated by less than a second. Locatelli with a 1.5 second advantage over
on to Pisani in front of him as well, and just looking at the top of the shot there, it looked like he's right on the rear wheel of Pisani.
And that's where the next potential overtake is going to be.
He was able to attack into the next couple of corners, so certainly for van der Mark, he needs to see just where Pisani's bike is working well. All these different bikes have different strengths in different areas.
Still very over the line. It's half a second. Razgatlioglu with another new fastest lap of the race, a 1:32.886. Still the fastest race laps ever.
Fastest rider in that group, so he's managed to pull straight onto the back of Vier's Honda.
Disappointing start to this race for Michael Ruben Rinaldi, who's made no progress. And Alex Lowe's has now bridged the gap. There's just a second between positions 5 to 8.
Yeah, and for Redding, obviously lost so much time in that opening lap whenever he ran off at turn 1. And
right in tow as well. We watch Pisani defend.
Yeah, how good is it to see van der Mark riding like this as well after all the injuries he's had? He's broken his leg twice this year, and he's only
that to ride as high as 6th position after qualifying in 11th earlier on this morning. Did make good progress early on. Few riders getting knocked out of position and out slightly from Axel Bassani. Wonder whether he made a mistake actually, because his half a second advantage to Xavi Vierge has been swallowed up all in one go. So Vierge and Xavi Forés, and this is Tati Mercado. He's on for his best result of this season so far, up in 12th.
Yeah, Tati doing a decent job here in the opening quarter of the race.
Gap to 5th position, and Alex Lowe's and Xavi Vierge right in there, and Michael Ruben Rinaldi has now made up that lost ground, as you suggested would be the case. Just 2 seconds
where it really became a big issue for them.
On the timing tower on the left-hand side of your screen, it would appear Michael van der Mark has got through on Axel Bassani for 5th. He's got through to the front of that group now.
Yeah, van der Mark lost about 3 seconds in that final sector, so it's very easy in that final sector through turns 15 and into 16 during the racetrack. That's why he's got Rea under pressure.
New personal best lap last time around from Andrea Locatelli in 4th position, and he's pulling out around about half a second. 19 Ducati.
Yeah, and we saw on the opening couple of laps that Bautista was able to ghost pretty close to Ray down the start-finish straight. We'll see if he's able to get close enough to try and hold the inevitable is about to happen. Alvaro Bautista is going to come through on Ray, possibly into turn 10, but certainly for Alvaro it looked like he wasn't quite willing to
pop back through on Alex Lowe's, and Xavi Vierque's capitalised to come through as well. So in the opening sectors of this lap number 9, as we watch Bautista around, running in the 1 minute 34s, Toprak was able to set a 1 minute 33.5. And we'll see now if Bautista has got more pace, not bottled up. Max Albasani still holding at 5th place then, ahead of Xavi Vierque, Alex Lowe's, and Michael Ruben Rinaldi coming back into the race. He's is concerned. Lowe's started 4th on the grid, but he's now tumbled back to 8th position. We're going to see the move again here from Alvaro Bautista on Jonathan Ray for 2nd.
Yeah, and just gets himself into the position to be able to attack into the ever-decreasing right-hander at the end of the lap, but for Bautista it was a matter of time. The fastest lap of this race off the outright lap record here in race conditions as well, so that shows that he's got himself still very consistent at the halfway stage of this race.
Ertl in the gravel trap, and unfortunately for him, he had been running in 12th position, I think, so that's going to rule him out on lap 11.
Yeah, and that looks like it's down in towards turn 7, and for Ertl that's going to be a pretty fast get off. We'll see that he's probably just going to be a little bit offline, and then it's just going to Toprak just not able to get the bikes up. We did see in the Supersport race, it was Channel 2 having that issue as well.
Yes, it's the Turkish line, and Razgatlioglu losing ground.
Just back on the normal pace now as well, but into the final third of the race, there's a lot of laps left to be done, and if Toprak's starting to struggle with that front tyre, be a scrap as well for the closing stage of this race before.
Bad news for Carl Smith, who has come into the pits, so you would presume that will be our 3rd retirement of race.
Trying to open up a little bit of a gap. As it is right now, it's only 3 or 4 tenths of a second between the two of them, but Van der Mark over the last few laps has had that little bit of an edge.
It does look as though Razgatlioglu
12-13 laps during the course of free practice sessions.
Race now is for 4th. Rinaldi's come back 8 tenths of a second on this lap against Andrea Locatelli, so lap fees all covered by 4 tenths of a second. The 2 races at the moment are for 4th and 6th places. This is the pace of Razgatlioglu up at the head of the field. Rinaldi can get through on Andrea Locatelli for 4th position. The next available pass you fancy. Michael van der Mark's just dropped behind Xavi Vierque and Locatelli, and rather candy from a baby the rate at which he had closed.
Yeah, very simple there for Rinaldi to be able to make that move, and down in towards turn 10 nice and clean, and that position from the riders behind him has got Lowe's and Gerloff and Van der Mark all within a second.
Yes, and Alex Lowe's will probably feel a little bit disappointed about how race 1 has passed.
And very much in no man's land, 5 seconds behind Alvaro Bautista, 6 or 7 seconds in front of Rinaldi as well.
So that gives 4th place back to Andrea Locatelli.
Yeah, Locatelli being given that reprieve with only a few laps to go now, so we'll see if Rinaldi's able to.
So an opportunity for Gerloff to finish 6th, as you say, at very least. Lap 18 of Tuchel Van der Mark all in tow, and Van der Mark, I think, will just be enjoying himself, getting to really rate Van der Mark, who was trying to fight his way through in that group of 4 riders.
That's such a big shame for Van der Mark, having just been talking about the good job that he's been doing in this.
To the Superbike World Championship for him this weekend. I did say at the top options, particularly if you end up off the racing line, and Michael van der Mark bitten there, so we've only got 16 runners, I think, happy enough to settle for 2nd place.
Yeah, Bautista 3 tenths of a second slower last time around, and dear Toprak Razgatlioglu.
Yes, which means that Toprak, presuming everything stays as it is at an easy challenge, does look as though Bautista tomorrow afternoon could be crowned world champion.
Really solid performance from him, where he hasn't made a mistake at any stage, and he's been able to get mechanic.
He's still defending against Garrett Gerloff, who's got through on Alex Lowe's for P7. So Gerloff again showing that late race pace, and he was around about half a second faster than Xavi Vierque.
Since that point, he's been able to open up a 3-second lead. So Locatelli doing exactly what he has to do.
Yes, it's going to be extends the championship's life by at least another day. Bautista gets 2nd and ensures that he only concedes 5 points to the race 1 winner, Jonathan.